Hey guys, Steve here, singledadfitdad.com. Today I want to talk about two things that are absolutely critical to your success in the gym: progression and intensity. Okay, when I talk about progression, I'm talking about something known as progressive overload. You probably heard the term before. Basically, that's pushing your body past a certain stimulus to elicit growth, right? You have to be constantly challenging your body in order for it to grow and continue to grow and get stronger and bigger. So, one of the main things to think about when doing that is it's not necessarily just related to lifting more weights, because at some point you're not going to be able to lift heavier weights. Okay, so there's a number of ways that we can change the demands to your body. The body's very smart, it's going to adapt pretty quickly. Okay, there's a number of different ways that you're going to want to incorporate a progressive overload strategy into your workout. You see the same guys in the gym month after month, year after year, that always look the same. Is because they're not challenging themselves, right? They're doing the same exercises, maybe they're doing the same workouts over and over and over, and your body just becomes adapted. And that's what's happening to a lot of you guys as well. I hear from you guys all the time: I'm stuck in the plateau, I'm not growing, I'm not getting stronger, okay? And this is the reason why, is because you're not progressively challenging your body, okay? You can certainly add more weight, you can add different exercises, you can change the split of your workouts, you can change the rest periods, you can lengthen them, you can shorten them, okay? There's a number of different ways that you can change what you're doing to challenge your body in a different way, okay? Secondly, I want to talk about the intensity. Okay, we all know that you have to train hard to get results, but the big issue with that is intensity is open to interpretation. Okay, so if I'm pushing myself on a perceived scale in my head to a 9 or a 10, that may be something completely different for somebody else. So you have to understand that it's completely subjective. So what I always tell my clients is push yourself to your 9 or your 10 when you're training. I don't often tell them to train to failure, straight failure, but you want to push yourself to that 9, pushing 10 when you train, okay? Going in half-assing in the gym, just getting through what you had in mind or just checking off a couple of boxes is not going to work, right? In the short term, if you're in the beginner stages, sure, anything will work, right? You do anything pretty much as a beginner, it's going to change your body. But as you become a little bit more seasoned, your body starts to change, you've starting to add some muscle, lose some fat, and then you get stuck, right? And that's when you really have to incorporate these two principles here, okay? So a couple ways to measure intensity. The most common is probably your heart rate, right? Your heart rate's jacked out of its mind, right? You know that you're training hard, okay? But that's not necessarily the only way to measure intensity, okay? So first off, heart rate, maximum heart rate, 220 minus your age is kind of that's the formula for your maximum heart rate. So you can kind of figure that out, and you obviously don't want to approach that maximum heart rate. If you're up to 60, 70, 80, 85% of that heart rate, that's okay. Talk test, if you can sit and have a conversation, and that's probably a pretty good indicator that you're not training hard enough, okay? You should be physically out of breath when you're training, and I'm specifically talking about your HIIT training, your conditioning type of work, right? That's when you're really going to be pushing the intensity levels. Yes, you'll be doing that in strength training, but not as much as when you're doing your conditioning work, interval training, all that kind of stuff. So if you can sit and have a conversation, not training hard enough, okay? Going to failure, again, you want to go to a controlled failure, right? We don't want to be lifting a weight to absolute failure where it drops on the ground or drops on your head. Especially if you don't have a partner, be smart about it. But you want to push until you can control that last rep just enough, and that's probably a good place to stop, okay? And then basically how you're feeling, right? You can tell, your body, and I always tell my clients, read your body, know your body, look for signs of overdoing it. Okay, so it's really important. So anyway, guys, two really important things here. Keep these in mind when you're training. Extremely important. You're not going to progress. You're not going to lose the fat. You're not going to gain that muscle, and you're not going to see the results without really being smart about these two things. We'll talk to you soon.